Tonight, I'm answering all the questions you guys sent in. Okay, our first question is, when you're dating and your gut is telling you red flags, possible toxicity, what are your suggestions? When your gut, which is your intuition, is telling you red flags or toxicity, as much as you might want to deny it, listen. If we are used to kind of like a roller coaster of emotions, crazy highs and dramatic lows, we will almost get bored in relationships that appear to be normal. That's the scary thing. We look for the drama. If the other person is willing to work on him or herself, then anything is possible. But the challenge with typical traditional counseling, nobody ever gets to the root cause of the problem. But if the red flags are there and the gut is like, get the heck out of there, then you need to listen, my friend. If it was good for you, there would be no red flags. Question number 2, how do you give what you don't have? So many of us have such an unhealthy relationship with money. It's not our fault. If you saw any kind of scarcity as a kid, then you are gonna have an unhealthy relationship with money. Everything that you do, there's a constant thought about money, money, money. There's never enough. So that is truly a scarcity mindset. That thinking is never going to get you money. A healthy relationship with money is that we willingly give and we graciously receive. There's no attachment to it. It's our friend. The story of what happened to me literally like 2 months ago. So I still have, even though I coach and this is my baby and this is my passion, I've done flip luxury properties in my past. And so I still have a real estate license because I like to do that. 2 months ago, and I'm not an active agent. I have it for me. I don't market business for real estate. I don't post anything. I don't do anything. I share this with you because this is a great example of how you can manifest more money and more abundance in your life when you know what to do. Like I said, 2 months ago, I was selling my house. I was selling my patio furniture. So I was like, well, where can I try to sell this furniture? So then I had a thought, intuition, post it in your community Facebook page. Well, that's a random thought, you guys, because I'm never in that Facebook page. In fact, I think I kind of even forgot about it. That's how random your intuition can be. I put a post on the Facebook page. One of the women specifically had a daughter. She wanted to see the stuff. She wanted me to send her pictures. I said, just come over. They both come over, super nice. They're like, oh my God, your house is beautiful. The furniture that I was going to sell to her was too big. And so that's what she said. She was like, oh shoot, like I really like it, but it's too big for my house. And then she saw I had this like ivory sofa in the living room and she was like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. Would you sell that? And I'm like, no, I can't sell that to you. My dog literally just today got like this little stain on it, so there's no way I could sell it to you. Like, you can just have it. And she's like, oh my God, are you kidding? Like, my husband owns an upholstery cleaning company. So fast forward, a couple more days go by. The mom reaches out to me and she's like, oh my gosh, you're so sweet. My daughter's so happy. That was so generous of you. I can't believe you sold your house. And mind you, I didn't know this woman. I've never met her, even though we lived in the same neighborhood. It was a big neighborhood. It's like 300 houses. I said, oh, good thing I'm an agent, because now, in this crazy market, I can find a house because I do this. And she's like, oh my God, you're an agent? I didn't know you were an agent. Fast forward, long story short, within a few days, I'm meeting her husband, walking their house, and they're asking me to sell their house. I get this listing. This was a $2 million house. Beautiful synchronicities just start to happen. These are things that most people would call impossible or miracles. Maybe seems like magic. When you actually understand these concepts that I teach you and then you start to embody them, you fully understand that you did it. There is no magic. There is no miracle. There's just you being in harmony with your higher self and with the laws. I don't focus on not having enough. I don't focus on no money. I don't focus on scarcity. There's no lack or limitation in my thought process. Long answer to the question, but such a great opportunity for such a powerful example. What did you say about the same person, different body? That's when I was talking about like toxic relationships and going from one partner to the next and expecting that things are going to change. And I said, it's the same person, different body. My 2 ex-husbands, same person. They were both toxic. They were very, very, very similar on the inside. The container, the body, was different. The soul, the self-image, the person inside was the same. And that happens until you do the work on the inside. Because remember, we can only attract what we are. If we're inside saying, I'm unworthy, I'm not good, I'm a loser, I'm a piece of shit, I'm all these awful things, then it is exactly what we will attract into our existence. Next question, what if the thoughts are there and then we catch the thought there and we beat ourselves up for it? I'm gonna show you a trick on how to handle this. First, Don't ever beat yourself up ever again for anything, because that is counterproductive. We have to be in a high vibration all the time. It needs to be a way of being. When you're beating yourself up, you're dipping down way low because it doesn't feel good, right? So let that be your indicator. When things don't feel good, let that be your indicator to stop it. The catching is good, but the beating yourself up is not. So instead, flip it. If the thought is, oh, don't even bother, like you're not gonna get that job, or don't even bother even talking to that guy or girl, immediately flip it to something positive. Don't suppress it. Don't beat yourself up over it. Just flip it. What are the titles of my 4 favorite books? Think and Grow Rich, classic. The Power of Awareness, amazing. It's very spiritual. It actually tells you who you really are. The Game of Life and How to Play It, super cool. And You Too Can Be Prosperous. I love all these books. I read them all the time. Next question. I always prepare for the worst to be, well, prepared. It's what life has taught me. Do you just ignore that thought and replace it over and over again with what you would like to happen? So the preparing for the worst is ego. That is the self within that's here to protect you. It's not anything to be like mad at or ashamed of or anything like that. Think about forever ago when saber-toothed tigers were roaming the earth and we were there too, and we had to stay safe. Genetically, we're no different anymore. But the difference is now that's not the kind of world we live in, and so we don't need that protection mechanism to work for us anymore, because that is just keeping us in the comfort zone. Part of you that's in your paradigm, in your subconscious programming, is the one that's preparing for the worst because of what you've experienced in the past, which is exactly what you said. Life has taught you. Well, there's a couple things going on here. One, stop living in the past because you're just gonna keep recreating it. Life taught you a lesson at that time. You don't need to keep learning that lesson over and over and over again. Otherwise, you'll keep recreating it over and over and over again. So you know that saying that just runs around in our lives right now and is super part of our culture is hope for the best, expect the worst. That is the worst advice ever. Instead, expect the best. I know it goes against your nature right now. What else you gotta do? Keep doing more of the same? The thing that's interesting, we can tell ourselves these things and we can try over and over and over again, but when you work with me, you don't have to try. I make it effortless for you. I tell you exactly what to do and how to do it. You just gotta show up and do the work. That's it. I had one question I wanted to ask you guys. Instead of asking yourself, what's the cost of doing this? What's the cost of not doing this? That's what I would be asking myself. What is the cost of being in the same place this time next year, 2 years from now, 5 years from now? The results that you're gonna get, the magnet that you're truly gonna become to attract only the good that you want, the beautiful relationship, the healthy boundaries, the money, the fulfillment, the happiness, the health, the better body. It's all yours. What's the cost of not doing this?